Getting a yes on a sales call. So this one's about handling objections and how you can do that. So you actually, close your clients, right? What about the one where they say this is too expensive for us, Jaime?
Yeah. So first of all, if you guys are watching this on live and you've ever gotten this objection, drop a 1. Or if you've ever wondered how could I deal with this, drop a 1 just to get a better idea. But the main thing, I mean, the main thing that you want to understand, because the first thing that I always like to do is understand where these objections are coming from, right? Because the thing about objections is you don't want to tackle the surface level objection, which is like, okay, it's too expensive, so let me talk in logical terms about why it's not expensive. You want to tackle the not so surface level, which is the deeper rooted cause for this objection, right? And so what this means is that they don't see enough value, right? Because the thing about expensive is, okay, expensive compared to what, right? Because cost is relative, right? If you know that you're going to put in $1 and get 10 back, right? That's a really good deal, right? But if you put 50 cents in and you get 25 cents out, that's actually a worse deal. Yes, you've spent less money, but it's a worse deal, right? And so that's one of the ways that you can approach this objection first. Is like, okay, expensive compared to what exactly, right? Can we focus on input versus output? Because the top people, the people that are truly having success, they don't look at a number alone, right? They look at how much can this make me, because they understand that money is a vehicle to make more. So where have I lost you that you haven't understood the value of the service and just how and the return on investment that you can get, right? And if it's clear that they haven't understood the value and the return that they can make, then get into the logical then, right? Because once you meet the deep rooted objection, then you can get into the logical, right? So get into the numbers. How much is this really costing you, right? Let's just say that you are doing CRO, conversion rate optimization, for their landing page, right? And right now they're getting 1,000 visitors and they're converting 5%, right? So they're converting what's that? Let's just give it, 50 visitors, I think. Yeah. So let's just assume that I increased the conversion, right, by 2.5%, right? That's that's an extra 25 visitors, right? If my math doesn't, it's been a long day, right?
You're right.
So let's just say that every single one of these visitors spends $100, so that's an extra 2,500, right? Every single day, and over the course of a month, you guys do the math, right? That's like what, 70K or something like that. So my point is, seeing really looking at the math, right? And doing the math in that way, and getting into the logical makes for just much better conversations.
Excellent
but first,
stuff.
Meet it at the deep root. Meet the actual objection.
So what's the deep root to this one? Like, I need to think about it and talk to XYZ. Maybe talk to my partner, talk to the boss, talk to my dog.
So one of the things that we talk a lot about in the mentorship is that you don't want to, when it comes to sales, right, is you don't want to complicate your life, right? I like the saying where, it goes, humans like to complicate we like to complicate our lives and justify why, right? And so you don't want to be getting this objection when you've already pitched the whole thing, when you've already gotten to the end of the goal, right? You want to deal with these objections before they even come up. Okay. And that's how a sales call should be handled. You don't want to be getting these objections when you've already gone through the whole pitch. You've already done, the digging. You've already gotten them emotionally spiked, right? You want to go through it before they even come up. And so one of the things, among a bunch of different questions, one of the things you should be getting a bit of an idea as to at the start of the call is, who's making the decision? Is there anyone who should be on this call and should hear about this, right? Before we even get right into it. And based on their answer, I'm going to take one path or take another path. If they tell me, yes, my boss should be here and they're going to be making the decision with me, but unfortunately they cannot be here, I'm going to speak to this person, but I'm not going to reveal what, the exact service, how it works and the pricing, right? I'm not going to put all the cards on the table to give them a reason as to jump on a follow-up call with me, right? I'm going to focus instead on that call. I'm going to focus on understanding their pain points, understanding what they're looking for, really building that connection, really building rapport so as to secure the follow-up. Okay. And so they shouldn't be, that objection shouldn't be coming up, because if it does come up, you can tell them, well, you told me at the end of the call, that you were making this decision, right? Has anything changed? so that's kind of how I would deal with that, like making sure that it doesn't come up. If it does come up, then questions like, if they were to say no, what would happen? Because oftentimes they're just looking for a scapegoat to diffuse responsibility. And then if I want to think about it, okay, exactly what do you need to think about, right? If I were to wave a wand and make this deal a no-brainer for you, what would that look like for you, right? To get a bit of an idea as to what they're actually looking for and what they need to think about. Is it a money think about, or is it a core, a program think about, right? What's stopping you from moving forward? Is it if it's the process, then let's dig a little bit into that. If it's just purely the money, then let's look a little bit into that, right? And because one of the great things about e-com agency is that we're agile when it comes to pricing, right? And so we can actually, because we charge percentages, you can reduce the fix, increase the percentage, right? And it make it almost impossible for them to not have a reason as to move moving forward with you. So that's kind of how I would handle that.
Great stuff. I think we're running out of time to dig into too many, but when it comes to asking for the decision maker, do you literally just say, hey, are you the decision maker, or do you phrase it in a different way, Jaime?
I wouldn't tell them that, because I found that that kind of undervalues them, and no one likes to be told like, hey, am I speaking to the right person? No, right? There's a bunch of different ways of phrasing that. Regardless, you should have already done a bunch of digging and a bunch of research. And this is what we do in the mentorship as well, right? Like a key part of it is being prepared for the call. I cannot be like the amount of research, the lack of research that people do for the calls is astonishing. It is honestly mind-boggling, right? Like they don't even have the decency to check this person out on LinkedIn and like look at where they've worked, their past experience, like look at their exact role in the company. You have to do your due diligence, right? And you should already have an idea as to who you should be, like who you're talking to and who you should be talking to, and who should be on that call. But the best way is to just ask like, hey, is it just you making this decision, or is there someone else that should be aware of this, right? And they'll tell you. They'll be like, okay, I would need to discuss this with the marketing department or whatever it is, right? Okay.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I think that right there is a big value bomb that I think a lot of people should pay attention to. Like,
I think it is. I think it's back. Short and sweet. We wish we could go on for longer, but we literally both have calls in like a minute. So we appreciate you. Always. Oh wait, 1 sec. Always plug at the end. Never forget, right? So if you are interested in taking this up a level, and you haven't seen the results of the students or whatever it is, then you can check out my YouTube channel for student interviews and all that good stuff. If you are aware of the results that we're getting in this industry, and you do want to discuss further with my team to see if you potentially be a good fit and qualify for the mentorship, there'll be a button down below. There's a link down below. There's also going to be a link to a free training that we put together on how to build an e-com agency past 10K per month profit in 2022. So there's going to be a link for that too. And with that being said, I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. Thank you, Tal, for putting this together. And we'll speak very soon.
All right, everybody. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye-bye.